Hello and welcome to the latest video. I'm going to say latest career on my video. Yeah, tongue-tied. Okay, yeah, it's been a few days since I did a career video, so welcome to this latest one. This is featuring one of the great UK fighters, okay, and a fan. Okay, Mike Tyson was a big fan of Owen Moran, as he was a number of early era UK fighters. What a fantastic little fighter he was. So let's go through the career of Owen Moran. Now, Owen Moran fought and lost, okay, to former world champion, another UK fighter, a good fighter as well, Joe Bowker. He then also fought and defeated the great George Dixon, also following that up with win over Monty Attell. Now, Owen Moran then fought a trilogy of fights against former bantamweight champion Frankie Neal, Owen Moran winning all three fights. Good afternoon, Martin. Good to see you, buddy. He also fought the legendary little Hebrew Abe Attell. Now, Abe Attell, one of the greatest featherweight fighters of all time. Owen Moran couldn't better. So from the 5 fights, he has no wins with 2 losses and 3 draws. Next up on the list, okay, is former lightweight champion Ad Wolgast. Owen Moran fought him on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win and 1 loss. And then he also scored a singular win, okay, against Battling Nelson, the durable Dane. Next up came Matt Wells, okay, who Owen Moran suffered a defeat to in a singular fight. He then also lost, okay, to the great defensive fighter Packy McFarland, who was actually so good. I remember reading a newspaper article, and the newspaper writer was actually beside himself because Packy McFarland got a welt on his eye. He was like, I can't believe he's suffered facial damage. So next up for Owen Moran, okay, is another of the great UK fighters, Jim Driscoll. Okay, that fight was a draw. Owen Moran then also defeated Harry Ware, a contender 3 times from 3 fights. He twice defeated Darky Haley from 2 fights. And then he fought a trilogy against another very underrated UK fighter. I'm all tongue-tied today. And a fight I'll cover on video called Digger Stanley. Now, Owen Moran scored 1 win and suffered 2 defeats. He then also defeated Danny Doherty, or Doherty, depending on where you're from, in a singular fight, before closing out this first slide with 2 wins over Cockney Cohen. So there is quite a good list of names, okay. You've got Jim Driscoll, okay, you've got Joe Bowker, okay, great UK name. You've got great lightweight names, you know, like Battling Nelson, Ad Wolgast, great featherweights, Abe Attell, great featherweight bantamweights like George Dixon. So already a very good slide there for Owen Moran and quite a lot of fights. So on to the second slide we go, okay, and Owen Moran faces contender Al Delmont, scoring a singular win. He also gains a singular win over young Pierce. Next up is Tommy O'Toole. Owen Moran fought him on 2 occasions, scoring 2 wins. He then also defeated contender Eddie Hanlon in a singular fight before fighting a 4-fight series with Harlem Tommy Murphy. Owen Moran won 3 of those fights and suffered 1 defeat from the 4. Next up, he defeated Tommy Langdon before then having a 4-fight series with another very tough contender, Matty Baldwin. Owen Moran won 3 of those 4 fights with 1 loss also. Now, Owen Moran also scored a singular win over Frankie Conley before fighting tough contender Philadelphia Paul Moore on 3 occasions. Owen Moran scoring 1 win and fighting 2 draws from the trilogy against Paul Moore. And then a run of defeats on here, okay, is the other excellent fighters he fought. Joe Mandot, a fighter I've raved on about here for years. Owen Moran lost to him in a singular fight. He also lost, okay, to tough UK contender and very underrated UK fighter Charlie White, the lightweight contender from the era of Benny Leonard. He also suffered a singular defeat to Jack White before also losing to another excellent name. And names like Joe Mandot, Charlie White and Joe Sugaru, who Owen Moran lost to, these are excellent contenders, excellent fighters. The final name on here was Billy Marchant, okay, who Owen Moran also lost to. So covered there, okay, a 51 major fights. Owen Moran scored 30 wins with 15 losses and 6 draws from those 51 fights. But even 51 fights doesn't sound a lot when you look at some fighters on my retired database, but compared to fighters now, 51 fights is a major total and more than anyone in the 4-belt era. So let us go on to the first of his stat slides. slides. Now, Owen Moran scored 26 knockouts. Okay, he scored 12 knockouts in 3 rounds or less and 1 knockout in the first round. Now, Moran scored 2 KOs or stoppages over champions, 1 against a Hall of Famer and 1 against a pound-for-pounder. As a pre-rating era fighter, he did not score any KOs over rated fighters. And Owen Moran fought a total of 982 rounds, so nearly 1,000 professional career rounds. He fought 61 title fight rounds, and Owen Moran fought a total of 205 rounds against champions. He fought 140 rounds against Hall of Famers and 175 rounds against pound-for-pound fighters. Now, Owen Moran fought no rounds, okay, against rated opponents due to being a pre-rating era fighter. So on to the first of his main opponent breakdowns, the champions. Now, Owen Moran had 15 fights against champions, including 7 wins, 5 losses and 3 draws. He defeated 5 individual champions and some good names: George Dixon, Monty Attell, Frankie Neal, Ad Walgast and Battling Nelson. And Owen Moran scored knockout or stoppage over 2 of those 5 champions, that being Frankie Neal and Battling Nelson. So when we go to the Hall of Fame category, Owen Moran has 11 fights against Hall of Famers, including 3 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws. He defeated 3 individual Hall of Famers, the same as whom were champions: George Dixon, Ad Walgast and Battling Nelson, and he scored knockout over 1 individual Hall of Famer, that was Battling Nelson. So when we go on to the final of the more opponent breakdown slides, Owen Moran fought 13 fights against pound-for-pound fighters with a record of 4 wins, 5 loss and 4 draw. He defeated 4 individual pound-for-pound fighters. They were George Dixon, Monty Attell, Ad Walgast and Battling Nelson, and he scored the same knockout or stoppage over 1, and that was the same Battling Nelson. So there ends the 3 slides on his major, more niche opponent categories, as I've come to call it. So when we go on to his record against rated opponents, now obviously Owen Moran was a pre-rating era fighter, so he has 0 fights against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters and ring champions, and thus by that defeated no rated fighters and scored knockouts over 0 rated fighters. Obviously, had ratings been around, that would have been different. Now, if Ring Magazine wants to commission me to create those ratings going back to his time, I'll more than happily do that, but I'm not doing it for nothing because it's a major work across all the original divisions. So on to title fight record. Now, Owen Moran did have 3 world title fights. He was unsuccessful, okay, but he's a 3-time world title fight challenger, as well as a pound-for-pounder and Hall of Famer from his time. He was one of the major contenders around the divisions he fought in, and a handful for almost anyone. His title fight record is 0 wins with 1 loss and 2 draws. Therefore, he made 0 title defences and scored 0 title fight KOs. Also defeated no rated fighters in title fights, nor did he score any wins against champions, Hall of Famers and pound-for-pounders. So 1 slide to go on Owen Moran, okay, and that is his title 1 slide, okay, and obviously with no title fight wins, Owen Moran held no world titles, although that isn't always the case because fighters can be awarded titles. Take Joe Knight, okay, who was briefly awarded a light heavyweight title during his time, but yet never successfully defended it, if you get me. So, you know, these things do happen. But Owen Moran captured no world titles, okay, he thus was never a lineal champion and never an undisputed champion. Okay, but there's Owen Moran, okay, another featherweight joining my list. He also fought in other weights as well. But yeah, Owen Moran is certainly a great UK fighter, and there's many fantastic UK fighters I'm going to cover going forward, from the aforementioned Digger Stanley, the aforementioned Charlie White. I don't know if I've covered Joe Bauke yet, but you know, many excellent UK fighters that will be covered in the big tapestry of career videos I'm doing, and there certainly is one of the major ones. So I'm currently working on my ratings now, okay, and once those new ratings are finished, I'm going to do a top 50 greatest fighters at modern era. Now, I'm not going to include every top level fighter from modern era, but in that, okay, normally I only do them retired, okay, but because people will be wondering, okay, how certain fighters now are getting on in terms of those ratings, I have decided to add, you know, Fury and Usyk and Inoue and Crawford and Canelo. I'm going to add a number, okay, of current active fighters, although Fury is technically retired, but I'm just not considering it yet until a bit more time has passed. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to include a number of modern era fighters, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. I'm going to add them in, even though I don't normally, on 50 greatest fighters of the modern alphabet era, the 4-belt era. And then we'll see what that countdown looks like. I've had a look at top 20. I'm like, hey, I'm fairly okay with that for the most part. You know, I'm quite happy at the moment. The new ratings work a bit different, okay? They work a bit different in terms of I've put a bit more emphasis on the winning element rather than the overall element, okay? So the ratings are going to look a bit different, okay? But I'm targeting certain areas where fighters have to do well. If they do well in a lot of them, they score well. If they do well in 1 or 2 of them and not the rest, they don't do as well, okay? Like anything else, any new rating is brutal, and these are going to be the same. Some fighters will be severely punished in the ratings for certain things, others will benefit from it. But yeah, I'm going to do that, so I'm going to add some active modern fighters in and recently modern fighters in. So we'll see where Usyk, Canelo, Crawford, all these fights, Inoue, all where they currently rank as they are at the moment, obviously with more work to do on their careers. But anyway, there's Owen Moran, okay, so like Martin says there, I'm back in the swing of it again, okay, over the coming 2 weeks, okay, I have plenty of time at home, so therefore there's going to be plenty of career videos coming. I'm also going to get those ratings finished off. I'm like 910 now, so another 200 plus, which should only take me a few days, hopefully, and then they're finished, then I'll start working on my top 50 greatest fighters at alphabet era. So, I am the Boxing Librarian, and I'm out for now.